Okay, go ahead. Everybody's in, it looks like.
Okay, good. Hello, friends. So the exact moment you'll see on your screen there, GMT time for the new moon is 1734 or 35, depending on which source you look at. Do you have an inviolable source, BL, with the seconds? Anyway, let's start. I'd like to start by taking a brief look at the astrological chart for the new moon. It's quite something. The sun and moon are conjunct Jupiter, Pisces exoteric ruler. And this has the effect of expanding the healing, loving, devotional energies of Pisces. It's the second ray lord of the solar system in its own rulership, even though it's the exoteric ruler. So it's a very powerful, uplifting, really evolutionary kind of stellium that it's part of. Sun, Moon, and Jupiter form a sextile to Uranus, which has the effect of energizing higher mind, and which is in perfect keeping with this expansive aspect of Jupiter, allowing one to expand on the mental plane up into soul realms of higher mind. Jupiter is also in a wide conjunction with Neptune, creating a stellium of a very high frequency, unconditional love. However, there's a very different energy brewing through the Mercury-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius, which can represent repression, Saturn, of free Aquarius speech, Mercury. So a repression of free speech and a free press, symbolized by Russians targeting the TV tower in Kyiv. At the same time, interestingly, Mars is in a tight conjunction with Pluto, Pisces' esoteric and hierarchical ruler. So all the rulers are in play here. And this can, and we can see, is bringing in a primal, almost brutal male energy, which we see reflected in Ukraine's conflict with Russia. However, Venus is also part of this conjunction, and helping to balance the energies of Mars, having these in conjunction, and also helping to ameliorate that brutal energy of Pluto Mars. I see this energy, this Venus part of the energy mirrored in the passionately heroic response of the Ukrainian citizenry to the Russian invasion. And in just a few days, Mars and Venus will move into Aquarius, thus somewhat breaking the link with Pluto's influence, where hopefully cooler heads will prevail. I think we have another, we have these meetings between Ukraine and Russia are continuing. And hopefully when this aspect comes into play, which is in the early hours GMT of March 6th, that it will allow things to move forward. In last year's Pisces New Moon webinar, Michael described how when the moon, which represents our personality vehicles in a kind of sum total way, comes into direct alignment with the earth and sun, that's what a new moon is. And I quote him now, the power of the solar logos wears away and gradually destroys its obstructive power. Talking about the moon. So by the time of the final chain of the Earth's scheme, the obstructive power of the moon will be completely neutralized. It'll be gone, basically. Thus, fully unveiling the higher energetic influences of Vulcan, Neptune, and Uranus, which the moon currently veils. The analogy seems clear enough. When we as aspirants and disciples align through meditation and service and study with the new and full moon phases, our personalities are also gradually transmuted into vehicles of light and thus of service. Okay, DK doesn't talk a lot about the new moon. There's only a few references specifically to the new moon. But there is one particularly significant quote, and I'm sure you're all aware of it. Michael has brought it forth. I think it's even part of the new moon template. And Discipleship in the New Age, Volume 2, DK says, at the time of the new moon and of the full moon, all members of all the ashrams meditate deeply in an invocative and evocative manner. Your meditation, therefore, falls into two parts. The first part is evocative of inspiration from the Nirmanakayas, that's here in this area, with whom they deliberately get in touch. The second part is invocative of the new group of world servers and enables them responsively to come under hierarchical impression. So the Nirmanakayas are the link between hierarchy and Shambhala, who they're also called the divine contemplatives. And it's through them that the hierarchy is able to contact Shambhalic energy. And these new moons are all about that level of contact. The new group of world servers are the link between hierarchy and humanity. So in some mysterious way, the new and full moon phases offer an opportunity for the hierarchy to sequentially form a connection between Shambhala and humanity. First via the divine contemplatives, then downward through the invocative activity to the new group of world servers. Okay, let's begin to focus on our new moon meditation. Just as the full moon meditations emphasize the consciousness aspect, new moon meditations focus on the Shambhalic connection and on the aligning the little wills of men, right? On the will aspect. So, as when we sit erect in meditation, let us consider the astonishing fact that our little planet is the center at the base of the spine of the solar logos. Thus, as cells in the body of our logos, we are as monads, an essence as yet unrealized, actually a part of the Kundalini fire of the solar logos. Michael also saw these new moon gatherings as an opportunity to plant a seed, to imagine some quality that you would like to see grow and thrive in your consciousness, and then visualize what that quality will look like once it has begun to take root. I know many of you who've been doing these full moons or new moon meditations for months are familiar with this process. So let's carry forward this new moon focus. Alternately, or in addition, you can also imagine some quality that would enhance our group consciousness, and then visualize its soul field effect on our group. And then from that, we can expand outward into the effect of that planted seed of a new quality of group awareness, of soul awareness, out into humanity. So let's mimic as best as possible the picture here. Spines erect, energy centers aglow. Let us begin to breathe regularly and deeply, which calms the physical, energizes through prana, the etheric body, and then calms the astral. And so let us as a group bring our attention, lift our awareness onto the mental plane. And it is here that we can come together as a group in group consciousness, where there is no thy soul and my soul, but just this group soul, which is part of the great soul field of humanity. This is how we enter into that field and become one with the soul field of humanity. From this high point of tension, let us visualize a brilliant white light sweeping down from the group soul, burning away the illusions of the lower mind. This is a purificatory light, which is also an aspect of these new moon meditations. Bright white light sweeping down from the group soul, the plane of soul, burning away the illusions of the lower mind. Our astrological link with Uranus at this time allows us to access higher mind, the source, as this light comes through. And then from lower mind, this light further penetrates into the astral body, burning away all the glamours, personal and group glamours in that body. So holding that high point of tension, visualize this white light sweeping down from the higher mental into the lower mind and astral body, and now further down into the etheric vehicle, where it vivifies and electrifies our chakras, aligning them with soul purpose. And finally, on into our physical bodies. Visualize that pure white light moving throughout your body, burning away any obstruction to the light, aligning it with the etheric, astral, lower mind, higher mind, and soul vehicles. One unified, purified body. So now we will intensify this presence by doing three things at once. We'll simultaneously sound the Om while silently intoning the second ray words of power, I see the greatest light. So outwardly intoning the Om, inwardly intoning the words of power, I see the greatest light, and visually projecting a beam of pure white light upwards towards Shambhala. Now, let us, as a group, visualize that upward light, that upward projected light, being met by the light of Shambhala, the light of life itself. This can only be done as a group. This meeting of the streams, the upward projected light and the downward answering light, forges our little group into a channel of light, which we will now, and for the rest of this meditation, pour outwards to humanity, meeting the ever-present need. hold the focus of the group as we together outwardly pour this shambolic stream into the soul field of humanity. Also, during this period of silence, imaginatively visualize and plant your soul seed and visualize its growth. If you wish, as Michael suggested, you can jot down these seed thoughts, what comes to you in this meditation, for later reflection. Okay, so we have the new moon in 8 minutes. We're going to have a silent meditation until then. I will sound the Om at the moment of the new moon very quietly. And then in the meditation, around 10 minutes after the exact moment of the new moon, with a final set of 3 Oms. Okay. Well, thank you all for attending. It's heartening to see the group in force today. We have to continue moving forward as a group. It's all about group work, group consciousness, and these new moon and full moon gatherings will continue. It's either Tuya or myself or some other Moria Federation faculty or someone will continue with these. And so thank you, and we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.